given the screen I had before, that it's entirely in the realms of possibility that what you're seeing there is the Isle of Man, that all of it is the Isle of Man.
I've lined up the terrain, and I've individually spotted individual homes along this ridge here. And I've included them on the Google Earth where I was able to capture them. And as you can see, the terrain matches up here. The houses match up along this ridge. Okay, this individual building here is here. It's slightly off on Google Earth, but as you can see, it is that building. It's here. And this building here is this building here. Anyway, so we come along, and basically the last line that is here is a direct line to Douglas. This line here is to Douglas. So when I come across here, we have all this extra land from there to here. Now, if I scroll in here also, you'll see what I say when I say that it gets compressed, because now you start to see that this ridge and these three buildings here and this ridge are just slightly off, but that's because Google Earth has warped it and already stuck this on a ball. But basically, these three buildings, you can identify them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's the ridge. There's the ridge. Here's the buildings. Here's another ridge that's very prominent here. Here's the individual buildings along this ridge. So as you can see, this is pretty clear as what we're looking at. This is a direct line to Douglas. What I've been working on this morning. So we're looking at from this distance here all the way over to where my cursor is now of extra land.
Okay, I'd like to respond to that.
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, I've got my screen shared again now. Okay, so you're making this claim of having all this extra land. Now, I've already shown that these red lines converge on the point that Anthony was at. And what we're interested in here is the angular distance, right? I guess you call it the angle of view of all of these points, all right? You can see that this is the very right-hand edge of the Isle of Man. I'm just going to turn it around a little bit so it's a bit easier. No, the other way. A little bit easier to sort of visualize what's going on here. I keep on getting the wrong mouse on the wrong screen. Okay, so you've got the right-hand edge of the Isle of Man here. You've got the bluff there, and you've got this Ballachanal here, and you've got Douglas there, and then you've got this here is the very leftmost edge of the Isle of Man that you would be able to see. And you can clearly see that although it doesn't seem like much land on the map, you can clearly see that the angle of view of here is quite significant compared to some of the other angles of view here.
Okay, can I just
so what you're looking at, you can actually see that there is a significant angle there. Now, all the extra land that you've put there, if you measure out all that extra land, at the length of that from Douglas to the end, and then measure it from Douglas to the other end of the video that you've got, I'd be interested to see how much is all that extra land in terms of the field of view. So what I would like you to do, Ranty, is to measure from the Douglas to the leftmost edge of the land. On your composite, it has to be image, and then measure from Douglas to the very right-hand edge of your image. And I would like to know what those distances are and what those ratios are. Okay, that's what I would like to see. Okay.
So you see that little peninsula that's sticking out on the Isle of Man, where you've got your field to most on the left, the far left. If you could just scroll into there,
this one here. Yep, sure.
If you could just scroll in there to the far left, and if you could tell me what the elevation is of that particular landmass.
I know the elevation's I know that the elevation's not very high on that. But
Would you tell me what it is, though?
What?
Would you be able to tell me what that is? The elevation?
Yeah, I'm just getting it up. I don't know.
I think if you just hover over it in the bottom right-hand corner, it'll say
well, what I can do is I can actually put a path in here and show what the elevation is. Let me just delete that last one there. Okay, so along there we've got the elevation. The highest elevation there is around about 20 meters.
Okay, so would you also measure the distance from there to the place that was the filming location, please?
What's that?
From the place that it was filmed. I think it's about 50 miles.
Oh no, it's nowhere. I don't think it's 50 miles. Okay, I can measure that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could do that for me. How many miles is that?
It says 50 miles. 50.88.
So if you're suggesting that we can see for 50 miles down to an elevation of 20 meters, does that conform to the ball Earth model?
I beg your pardon?
So if you're suggesting that the landmass that I've captured on this on the image is 20 meters in elevation, and it's at 50 miles, would you say that conforms with the ball Earth model?
It doesn't take much refraction to be able to account for that.
Okay, so let me just do the calculator height on that then, and let's just put that claim to the test.
Ranty, I've done it.
Refracted hidden is 1,000 feet. So we're seeing basically 70 feet of elevation on that landmass, and refracted hidden should be 1,000 feet. So if it is, in effect, actually that particular landmass, where's the 900 feet of hidden?
I'll have to confirm that myself, those calculations, in a moment. I'm just looking at something else now.
Can somebody bring up those calculations on screen so we can see them actually done live? Did you say you've done it already, Sleeping Warrior?
It's in feet, it is refracted hidden 1,055 feet, and in metric, it's 321 meters. And if Paul's arguing that the land, did you say it was 12 meters?
20 meters.
That's still like 300 meters short, Paul.
Do you want to ask him the question? Sorry, I just want to ask him the question one more time, Ranty.
Yes. So if you're certain that the landmass to the left-hand side of Douglas is perhaps the farmost of the Isle of Man, which is an elevation of 20 meters, the distance to that is 50 miles, which is over 1,000 feet of refracted hidden. So where's the missing 950 feet? Because you said it would only take a small amount of refraction to increase something that's just 60 feet in height to a height of over 1,000 feet.
All appears to be distracted.
Okay. Yeah, I am distracted because at the moment I've just changed and I've had a look. Now, ignoring that.
So what about the 200 meters of missing curvature then, Paul? What about the 200 meters of missing curvature? 200 meters missing.
200 meters. I didn't see the calculation. Sorry. Refraction can account for those things.
No,
But what I'm putting to you,
We've just stated this. Sorry, Paul. Just going to have to interject there. No, it does not account for that. You are absolutely incorrect.
Nowhere near, Paul. And even if what you're saying is correct with the land that's to the left of Douglas, that means it would be immediately to the left of Douglas. That doesn't account for all the rest of the land to the far left of Douglas.
Exactly.
All that land, as Paul put it. All that land. So I'm going to ask it a third time, Paul, just for the benefit of the audience. We now have, according to Paul, 200 meters of missing curvature. Where is that curvature, Paul?
200 meters of missing curvature.
That's correct. Would you like me to say it again?
Sure
That's 200 meters of missing curve. Please, can you tell me where that curve is? Where's the curvature, Paul?
I'll do a bit more investigation on that, but I would like Ranty to answer the question that I asked earlier.
I'd prefer you told us where the curve is, as that's pretty much the point of this debate, Paul.
And the extra land.
But the point of my question was that extra land is, in fact, the Isle of Man.
Yes, we've conceded that, Paul. Paul, you're not seeming to listen. We've conceded that, Paul, and we're now asking where the 200 meters of missing curvature is on that land.
Well, I'm telling you that refraction can account for that.
And we've already told you twice that it cannot.
Why can it not?
Okay, we'll bring up the maths again for you. Should we bring up the maths and show him? Somebody, perhaps Sleeping Warrior, can show him.
Share screen.
But even if we concede that refraction may be able to, it still doesn't account for all the extra land that's far left of the shot. The evidence, not Google Maps, the actual evidence.
Okay, so we have a distance of 50 miles, we have a viewer height of 35 feet, and we have refracted hidden of 1,000.
No. Didn't we agree that the viewer height was 60 feet?
No, it's measured at 35, Paul. That's some nonsense that Miles introduced. Some complete nonsense that he just introduced. Ad hoc explanation.
Yeah, it's completely wrong.
Complete rubbish. But, I mean, if you want us to put 60 feet in just to gish gallop and fudge the figures to make it work on your ball, we can do that for you if you wish.
Do it at 60 feet.
That's 900 feet. So if I put it in metric, that's 275 meters.
Do you want to make it 100 feet, Paul, just in case?
Should we do it in...
Let's ask Paul. How much would you like us to fudge? How much? Hold on, Ranty. How much would Paul like us to fudge these figures? How much do you want us to fudge them, Paul?
And obviously the point is...
No, I don't want to fudge them at all.
Whatever value that we increase the observer height to...
Let's put 35 in, Ranty, as that's what it was.
And the other thing is, by changing the observer height, we're actually looking behind the curve that isn't there.
Sorry, just want to keep on track, just for Grim and Paul. Can you see what's on screen?
And that's with refracted hidden, by the way. This is without refracted hidden.
Sorry, what's that in metric?
Yes, I can see what's there, but I would still like to go back to the distances between.
I'm sure you would, Paul,
Douglas
but I'm going to keep you on track anyway, now that we've actually got that... Sorry, pop it back on screen, Ranty, just so you can see that. You're claiming that landmass, yeah, can be brought back by refraction. It cannot be brought back by refraction. Do you understand?
Every time you're like, where's the missing curvature? Where is the
Where is
missing
it?
curvature?
Where is it?
I told you every time it's obscuring the shore.
No, we're seeing land. That's the point. You're not getting it too
you're
dumb
seeing
to get the
land.
Paul saying
You're
it's the
not
Isle of Man.
saying-
There's only two
You're
choices.
not
Let's
seeing
give it again.
on
Let's
the
turn you
shore.
all down and give
You're
it just for Lou. There's only two choices. Look at the yellow line that Paul has put on his screen. Can you see that, Lou? There's two options. One, it is Southern Ireland. Two, it is the Isle of Man. That is what we are seeing. We are seeing land. It is not being obscured. We are seeing it. Now, if it is Ireland, we are missing 2 miles of curvature. If we are seeing the Isle of Man, we are missing 200 meters of curvature. Now, over to you to mimic me and Spurs, because it's the best
It's not
you
a
can
big
do.
deal. Nathan, relax. Yeah, you can see land, but you cannot see all the way down to the shoreline,
Okay,
which
agreed.
is where the curvature is.